Welcome back. It is Championship Sunday live from London. It is the Gfinity Spring Masters, and so far we have 6 teams remaining. 2 teams already advancing to the semifinals. That, of course, Prophecy and Optic Nation coming off the big win over Denial. However, we still have 2 quarterfinal matches left, and we're going to take a look now at Envy taking on TCM. But before we get to the match, we got to take a look back at some of the brackets and how we got here today. It's been an awesome show so far, and really incredible matches from start to finish. All the way from their group, we saw Envy kind of with a dominant performance. TCM, they had to come out as the second place squad after a very tough match against Denial. So this battle will be number 1 versus number 2. And you know TCM, they are gunning for a championship. It's Gunshy's last event, and they want to go out with a big win. But before we see how they play, we got to take a look back at how Gunshy got his start in competitive Call of Duty.
First started playing back in, I believe it was 2008. I was originally just an original Xbox player, just playing for fun. I played a bit of Rainbow Six, and then Call of Duty 4 came out, and that's when I started getting a bit serious. Back in the days, in Europe, the main event was called XL. As well, the European players went for Halo, Call of Duty, stuff like that. And first win was actually a free-for-all. That was my first event. I was 15. I won that, and ever since then, I just literally kept going to events. And then the following event, I won the team event, and yeah, that's when I first started winning the tournament. The fact that we won the GameStop International was like the first European team to win in America, and I don't think anyone's ever done it since, to be honest. And then COD XP was like the first $1 million tournament. Although it wasn't the most competitive one, it was like there was a massive crowd, and coming second at that event was just like kind of life-changing a little bit for me. After gaming, I'm looking to basically just get a job, move on a little bit from competing, I guess. But it's hard to say. You can say I'm retiring, but you never know 12 months down the line how I'm going to be, you never know. So obviously I'm going to try and get a job straight away. I still want to be in esports because I love esports, that's something I've always done. We'll have to see, time will tell, I guess. I'm happy with what I've achieved so far, and if it doesn't go well this event, and it doesn't go well, if I go off on a high, then I'll be absolutely buzzing about it, but I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I'm just going with the flow, see how we get on.
Were you nervous when going into that final?
Yeah, very nervous. Can't even feel my legs at the moment. Just shocked, really, because wasn't expected to get in the final at all. So.
There's a look live of one of the pioneers in the European competitive Call of Duty scene. This is arguably his last tournament. He said he's not technically retiring yet. Anything could happen in the future, but for now, he will be moving on. This is his last event with TCM, and you can see it's nothing but smiles as he prepares for his match against Envyus.
There's so much you can say about that man.
I'm emotional.
Yeah, to be honest with you, a little bit choked up.
I was kidding.
No, seriously, that's one of the best guys I've met through gaming, and this is a big thing, right? He was rated, I mean, what, 6-7 months ago, as the greatest European player of all time, just because of how consistently he's been at the top. This is massive. You won't find like anybody in Europe that I can think that has a bad word to say against him.
Tony, do you have any great memories of casting or watching Gunshy as a player?
There's too many to list, literally. The guy, so consistent in his plays, and you would always sometimes, I think for me, one of the main ones is back at MLG when they did so well. And, he had a really couple of bad maps. But then sometimes he would just go off. And, it's just the sort of player Gunshy is. Sometimes he can really come in there and be really consistent. But then if he has a bad map, then he has a great map. So he's one of these players who's always brought something to the table for his team.
There's one thing you can always say about Gunshy. He is one of the most mentally strong players in the world right now. Always a true competitor. And he and his squad, TCM, will be trying their hardest to take down one of the top squads from the U.S. Let's take a look at our bracket for today. This is what we have set up in front of us. Of course, Prophecy and Optic Nation securing their spots in the semifinals, but at the bottom half of the bracket, anything could still happen. TCM taking on Envy before Optic Gaming faces off against Aware. We're down to our final 6. Both of these teams fighting for a spot and the money in our top 4.
so far this tournament kicked off. What a way to kick off in the morning with the two games we've had so far. That last is still being talked about on Twitter. Denial, Optic Nation. And Optic Nation took it. Like, who would have predicted that before this weekend?
Well, I think that was really one of the games in the bracket that we just looked at. That was really like, well,
Yeah,
go
okay,
on through.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's happening.
The Prophecy Epsilon game is one of them ones where, a little bit, and nobody's really sure, but everyone was sort of leaning a little bit towards Prophecy. This game, I don't know. I really do not know.
We talked about this before. We were talking about the TCM Envyus game, and I went, I don't know. It's really hard to call. And the other issue being is that because Optic Nation beat Denial, does that mean that the benchmark we kind of predicted with TCM yesterday is no longer the same benchmark?
I don't think we saw the same Denial today that we saw yesterday.
It's just a question.
We also didn't see the same Optic Nation that we saw yesterday. So props to Optic Nation, and we'll have to see who is the stronger team today. On the other side of the main stage from TCM, though, is Envyus, the boys in blue, led by TP and Proofy, veterans of the Call of Duty scene. TP, one of the most successful players in Call of Duty history. So many championships to his name. Same can be said about Proofy and Merc, and they are joined by one of the biggest rising stars in the scene currently, Looney, who has been such a fantastic, aggressive S&D.
Yeah, I know some of the players that you see come out of Looney is fantastic, but you look at that lineup, stacked full of veterans within this scene, and then you got Looney, the new young player. But, fantastic to see this team really advancing through very, very well, which is why a couple of people may be leaning towards Envy. But for me, I don't know, this time that TCM has spent in America, they look different.
And there's a lot of questions around Envy. Of course, if you're just tuning in, Envy this weekend normally is playing with Saints. This weekend, they have Merc brought back to the squad for this event. He filled in a few weeks ago up in Canada, so they do have a little bit of history, a little bit of practice with Merc, but this is not their original starting lineup. On the other side, though, this is TCM's Core 4.
Core 4 until, the end of this tournament. But these guys, they've already improved. We've all known they've improved being at the team house. That question was answered yesterday. They've got great chemistry. Two of those, have been together for a while now, Gunshy and Moose. Adding in Jerd and Shane at the turn of this game, it's gone okay so far. They really want a good result here to kind of put the name back on the map, especially going back over to the league. They want a good result here. They want to try their best here. They've got a decent game this time round. It could have been worse. It could have been what we thought was Denial or Optic Gaming. We've definitely been a harder game than Envyus. But like I said, this is incredibly hard for me to call here. I didn't get to see Envyus yesterday, so I don't know how they were playing. So for me, that's kind of, I haven't seen that much. I don't want to comment on them, but I saw TCM, and TCM looked really strong.
I have to say, Envy was playing lights out through group play. Yesterday, a little bit weaker than what they opened up with on Friday. Merc shut up all the haters. He dropped an ace in Search and Destroy, was leading the squad, playing his role incredibly well. But yesterday was all about TP. So wants to take this series. They got to shut down Proofy. They got to shut down TP most importantly. And you got to look out for Looney. Looney is constantly going to be there. Be ready for him to turn the corner at any time. If you're looking at one player from TCM in here, obviously all eyes are going to be on Gunshy here in his last tournament, but who are you looking at to be the star player of this
There's
TCM
the right
squad?
answer here, by the way.
You don't even need to
I don't even need to tell you
listen.
who.
Was it Jerd? You have to look at Jerd every single time. We were watching him yesterday, and I think the thing we pointed out about him, he can snapshot in the middle of a boost jump. It's like literally moving at 3,000 miles an hour, but it doesn't matter.
He shouldn't win. He wins gunfights. He shouldn't win.
And it's insane to watch. Obviously we're going to watch how quickly he can move and still pick up kills. And something we did point out, he doesn't.
They know where he is. Simple's doing a great job of evading Epsilon right now.
Yeah, just trying to stay long as he stays alive.
at such a grand scale. We can see all of the players there now sat in their booths ready to go. These are all in the quarterfinals now, guaranteed that top 8 position, fighting for the top 4 and fighting their way into the semi-finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously for the prize that that's on this, it's not just about the money, it's about coming away as champions. We've seen Denial just eliminated from the tournament. That is potentially the second or first best team in the world right now. So the guys in TCM and Envy, they know anything can happen right now. I really don't know which way we're going to see this go. As you can see, Gunshy on your screen now, and his stats: overall kill death ratio 1.01, very neutral throughout, but he's got a point to prove coming up against Envyus.
Yeah, and you can see he's got a really strong search and destroy game so far in this tournament. 1.29 kill death ratio there, but a very team-oriented player. He never plays selfishly. He'll always do whatever it takes for his team to win, even if it sometimes means sacrificing himself in the process. So we will be keeping an eye on him throughout this, and it's only going to be very entertaining to watch him in what could be his final big tournament that he's competing in.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange to say that. I mean, you've obviously been casting for 3, 4 years, I don't know how long now.
4.5 years now.
4.5 years, and Gunshy's obviously been a part of that the whole time. He's won multiple titles. He's won here at Gfinity in European events. He's won obviously all the other ones as well. But he's teamed with pretty much everyone as well in the top caliber teams as well, so it's sad to see someone go like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what damage he can do. Just to give you a recap of how these performed in the pools as well, Envy clean sweeped everyone, solidified their place as the top seed from Pool C. TCM had a little bit of trouble when they went head-to-head with Denial. They did take them to the final map, though, lost 3-2, but then secured their place as the second seed from Pool B and advanced into this particular position. Let's actually have a look at all the maps that they're going to be playing in this series so far. So much like the other games you've seen on this stream so far, if you have been tuning in throughout the day, we are going to be starting off with Hardpoint Solar, followed by Search and Destroy Detroit, Uplink Biolab, Capture the Flag Retreat, and if it does go to it, Search and Destroy Riot.
Right, so let's get right into the game. I want to jump on board with Gunshy. I want to see what impact he can make off the bounce. There's got to be a few nerves. He knows this is, potentially his last ever series of Call of Duty. However, Solar, Hardpoint. Let's have a look at the map right now.
Yeah, so these are all the hardpoint areas that we're just focusing on, just guiding you through. You're going to see that pool area coming up very shortly, which is where the initial hardpoint will be, and a big massacre will go down. You can see just the bots running rampage over there, so let's see what these competitive players are able to do.
Yeah, hopefully a little bit better off.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Certainly using competitive guns anyway. So here we go with Gunshy right from the get-go, immediately switching to his knife just with that extra speed boost. And these guys are pumped. They're going into this knowing they're going up against one of the greatest American competitive organizations on the, well, in America.
Absolutely. I mean, Envyus, they're renowned throughout the world, obviously, on multiple games as well. However, here, Merc, you can see, does go down. Started off really hot there with 3 kills to his name. All square at 4-4-piece. Proofy just getting that, extra space between him and his opponent there. Proofy, obviously, that very dominant AR player. However, Jerd picking up a couple of kills, jumping on board with him. The analysts have already pointed it out as one to watch. Usually, Jerd is one for having SMG, but he pulled out the BAL today.
Yes, so, he may switch that up later on, depending on what the hard point is. He does get shut down in there. Now, just speaking about Envyus a little bit, Momo, we've talked about Merc at length. You've been really impressed with how he's played in this tournament. For me, TP's been the standout player. I don't know what you feel about that.
I mean, I had a chance to cast one of their games previously, and Merc through the group play was phenomenal. However, TP going into the latter part of the tournament, he's just stepped up. He's the TP that we know and we love, and he's the champion that we all know. However, board 4 minutes already gone in this game, and we can see a 50-point game in favor of TCM. I mean, I don't know about you, Rel, but I didn't see this being so dominant.
Well, they're really striding ahead. Who's this sneaky beaver around here? It is Moose. He's found himself caught right in the middle of all of Envyus. He's managed to stay alive, clean up a kill, and he's got great support from his teammates now as we see TCM once again setting up shop, and it's going to be difficult now for Envyus to fight their way in.
I've got to say that it was great play from TCM, not only to pick up the kills, but they forced the spawns over at the pipe area, the second hard point, and the way that they did that, obviously pushing right at the back and pushing out at the front as well, whilst Moose just gained control of the hill, and it just gives them that extra 5-10 points which they need, extending their lead right now to 65 points.
Well, don't rule Envyus out of this just yet. Merc cleaning up, picks up a kill, or certainly contributes to one in that hardpoint area. Gunshy, though, takes down 2, and once again, a massacre. By the end of this game, I'm going to be really interested to see how many interactions there's actually been, because that kill feed is just constantly filled with action.
Absolutely. Here, TP on the hill. TP doing a great job. I like the objective play that he is doing, getting all the scrap points, and I can see Gunshy obviously answering back with a couple of kills, but only 2 points. That's going to go into the second rotation of the hardpoint right now. This is going to be obviously a lot of scrap time, but TCM did take the lead previously. I'd like to see TP and the guys from the boys in blue and Envyus, do some damage right now, but again, the kill feed is TCM.
Well, here's Proofy trying to provide some scope for his team, and you will see the counter to him sitting top glass. It was Gunshy who has been shut down, really opened things up now. Looney there also shutting down Jerd. I believe it was actually Shane, I think. But yes, again, I mean, the problem with this pool hardpoint area is it's really difficult to actually to secure many points on it. As soon as you get on it, you're exposed from pretty much every single angle.
Absolutely. However, TCM currently being contested. Moose takes down one. He's in possession of the hardpoint. Got to be challenged by Looney. Proofy actually picks the double kill up there. Proofy 23 and 19, being that solid AR player that Envyus need. Looney's kind of going off right now, but Merc is the player that I want to watch. I want him to step up right now, get a few kills on the board. Unfortunately, goes down to the guys on TCM, but Proofy answering back for a kill of his own. And actually, you know, Envyus kind of closing the gap here now, only a 50-point game.
Yeah, and you can see them already trying to rotate. And there we go, the hard point is going to spawn up. It's going to go towards Envyus. Great start for them, but TP gets shut down. Proofy is ready to answer right back. Closing out Gunshy, Moose, and Shane. Proofy's going off right now for Envyus.
Yeah, Proofy with a 3-piece there. Jerd with 2 himself. Proofy's going to get another 2-piece. Can he finish the third? TP actually steals his kill there, but I'm sure he's not too unhappy about that. TCM all spawning out, and Proofy and the guys from the boys on blue will know where they're going to spawn. Proofy just turns around there. All 3's got to be contested. Picks up another kill. How is Proofy still alive right now? And the answer is by the support of Merc.
Oh yeah, Proofy is on absolute fire now. Great team effort here, and that point deficit has been reduced so much. We're sticking with Proofy here, seeing if he can extend this 6-kill streak any further. He's in a great position to do so. He does go for the challenge, comes head to head. It's actually going to be Looney who picks up that kill, but Proofy once again makes it 7 kills.
Absolutely, and as you said, Rel, the game is a 10-point game now. We've got 3 minutes left. This is anyone's, and I think this hard point next, and obviously the top hard point is going to be the pinnacle, really. And whoever takes maybe 30, 40 off one will take this game away. You see Gunshy trying to just set back for his team. TCM have the hill in their hands. Gunshy and Shane picking up a couple of kills. Looney answering back, teaming up with his teammate there, TP. This is just trade after trade, but all the points going in TCM's way.
Yeah, there's been a recent flow of nice slaying here from Envy. You can see Proofy really stepping things up now. 33 kills. The only person to reach that 30 figure on his team is Looney. We can see Jerd doing a great job for TCM as well. Let's see what's going on with Moose now. Slowly behind in the slaying department, but certainly contributing. As you say, Momo, this game, it's a 7-point game now.
Yeah, I love the way there. Moose waited for Jerd and the support. Jerd went in and does what Jerd does, which is pick up a double kill. Moose answering with one himself. Gunshy as well, trading for 15 seconds. Looking at the mini-map, you can see Envyus are on the rotation straight away, but we do have one of the players from TCM trying to answer back, and that is going to be Gunshy, I believe. No, Gunshy's actually the one on the screen. Moose setting up for his team. I like the play from Moose right now. He knows that Envyus have already got control, and he has to wait for his team. Unfortunately, Merc actually challenges him there for the guys on TCM, but again, great heads-up play from Merc.
Yeah, and look at this car park area now. It is completely flooded by Envy players, and that can show through that kill feed. Only Jerd breaking that spell of domination there by Envy. Shane is trying to follow up. They've got to be careful now, TCM. They don't want to be going in single file. They do still have the lead, Momo, but it's going to slip.
Absolutely. Shane made such an important kill there. Have one of the guys from Envyus actually creep behind him. Again, all the points are going in forward of Envyus. However, if Gunshy can make this kill, which he does, he's just trying to rotate and wait for his teammates. But hey, Envyus are just slipping away right now with a 10-point game.
Oh, yeah. Envyus do have the lead, and they're going to try and continue that. Gunshy has managed to fight his way in, though, and he brings it back. And once again, that lead changes towards TCM. Europe's best team, currently competing in America, are going up against one of America's best as well.
Absolutely. I mean, they've had the practice. They've been in the Pro League. They've played teams like Envyus and the likes of this, but only 1 minute left to go. They're going to go into this this last hard point with 15-point lead, but they've got to challenge this. And you can see the spawn from TCM, and they're actually going to take control. Gunshy's going to pinch this. The great play there. Gunshy just made such an important kill, and it's actually going to spawn out the guys from Envyus. But right at the back, Envy are not giving this up. Proofy with a double kill himself. This is going down to the wire.
Oh, the amount of double kills I've seen from Proofy is insane. But yes, in the final 30 seconds here, things looking really good for TCM. Trying to close this out. It's one final push now from Envy. TB goes in under contest, does get shut down. Proofy tries his luck as well, but still, it does look like TCM have just edged this one, and I cannot see Envyus coming back into it with the amount of time left remaining. That is going to be the first map going towards TCM.
Absolutely. You said to look at interactions, Rel. I'm just going to point out Jerd there. He's got 40 death. Now, if someone's got 40 death, you'd think they'd be having a terrible game. However, Jerd has got 42 kills with a total combination, 83 interactions, 17 captures. I mean, I don't want to say he's won them the game, but what an absolute performance from Jerd.
Oh, yeah, and great play from Envy. If we can just get a round of applause there for TCM, who actually take that first map away from Envy. Envy with a lot of work to do now. And I just want to point something out here to the audience and to the stream viewers. The first 5 minutes of that game, it was 1-8 to 7-4 towards TCM. That finished up much, much narrower, 2-1-8 to 1-9-4. So Envy really, really fought back there and almost managed to bring it back. If they hadn't had that slow start, they could have taken that first map.
Yeah, and I mean, in a hard point, when is it you see 440 bombs being dropped? That's just, you know, it's unheard of, the amount of interaction
We saw it
going
coming
on there. But Proofy at just slaying absolutely everyone, not too involved with the hard points you can see there, but that was TP's job. He was doing the objective work for them. You can see the guys in the booth there, TCM, they're not getting too hyped up. Yes, they've won the first game, calm and composed. And going into game number 2, we're going to see Search Destroy, completely different game type from Hardpoint. Whether this will swing in TCM's, whether they'll extend it to a 2-0 series, or the boys in blue answer back.
All right. Well, remember, $25,000 is the prize pool here at the Gfinity Call of Duty Spring Masters, and this is a single elimination bracket. There are no more lifelines. If you lose the series, you are out, and we've just actually seen Denial go out to Optic Nation. I want to call it a bit of an upset. I don't want to take anything away from Optic Nation, but Denial, the Call of Duty World Champions, runners-up at ESWC to Optic Gaming, going into this, and they're going to bow out. They're not going to advance into a top 4 position. A bit of a surprise. And one thing I would say about Denial as well, TCM managed to take them to the last map too.
Yes, yeah.
So, you know, do you think TCM are playing well here? Do you think Denial have taken the foot off the gas a little bit?
I honestly don't think we saw the same Denial as we did yesterday. You know, when you got Clayster just so pumped up and attached, getting all the kills as well, it was just when they were playing here today, I just don't think it was the same team. And I don't know why it was, but you've got to give it to Optic Nation. You know, they've not been doing too well online in the Pro League. However, coming to LAN, traveling all this way, have just turned up on the day, and that's what Call of Duty is all about, is turning up on the day, making an impact. I've got to say, Miracles as well was phenomenal through that series.
And you know what? I've got to say something. There is a chance, if things pan out in a certain way, that it could be an Optic Gaming versus Optic Nation grand final. That would be interesting.
I don't know who they cheer for.
Well, yeah, well, I'd say they'd be cheering for all of them. They want everyone to win. But yeah, it's going to be great to see what happens there. I mean, talking about the other teams that have advanced as well here, we saw Prophecy going up against Epsilon quite comfortably. Prophecy did advance there as well, swept away Epsilon, the American-European hybrid. Some great plays in there. Prophecy looking really dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to say with Prophecy, it's a new lineup, but two of the best from TR, two of the best obviously from previous, you know, phase as well. Aches the leadership that he's got, bringing the young guns on, if you like, but it's just slaying power with those guys. And when Prophecy went up against Epsilon, it was a little bit one-sided, but Epsilon did every single thing they could, very little practice. But you saw Prophecy take that away. Yeah,
and you can see on your screen now, Jerd, maybe not stepping up to that slain mark that we've seen him in the past. He is going up against some of the toughest in the world here. Overall kill-death ratio 1, hardpoint caps per game 9.33, and I've got to say fairly standard but consistent, and that's a key point really. There's no particular area that is faulting in there, and you know, he's just playing his role. He's doing his job. But he is going to need to step things up even further. They do have the first map now against Envyus, but if they want to win a championship here, you know, they are looking at Jerd. They talked about in the analyst studio there, he's the guy that's going to make the difference.
Absolutely. And previously, like yesterday, you saw Denial take them to last map and take the victory. Denial obviously were a team, you know, runners up, like you said, obviously at ESWC. They've won the world title in Call of Duty Championships. And if TCM can, you know, match that and go 3-2. I think it was last map 5-5.
Yep.
You know, who's to say that TCM can't go all the way and take this tournament?
No, it definitely went last map, but it's as you say that, you know, really close between these guys. We're going to see how things pan out. We've got some great maps coming up as well. You guys that have been watching the stream and have been sticking with us all this time will have seen them before. It is going to be Search and Destroy Search and Destroy Detroit next, which is a lovely Search and Destroy map, I must say. So it's going to be great to see how these players actually play this one out. Now, of course, Search and Destroy, as we all know, 2 bomb sites, but you tend to see teams, I would say, split between them, but they tend to favour the school bomb plant more.
Yeah, and when attacking it, I like the way sometimes it's a complete rush, whether it's just done slowly. And I think Detroit is a kind of a perfect Search and Destroy map because it's quite easily you can kind of rotate. We're going to go through the map here. On your screen, you can see Detroit, that middle Atlas point, school, which will hold the B bomb site, and then the alley, the A bomb site as well. So going into a Search and Destroy on Detroit, let's jump on board with the attacking team. Let's give a little bit of love to Moose. We've not seen too much of him so far, He's got a Bal 27 in hand. What can he do against the boys in blue? I'm looking to see the strategy, because I've watched TCM for years, and I know that they were very conventional, very by the book. Have they learned anything from America?
Well, we're going to have to see. They've obviously been picking something up to take one map against Envy here, so great start for TCM. And as you say, we're going to stick on board with the attacking side for the majority of this. If we do find players in one versus something situations, we will get on board with them. Moose is just holding back a little bit, though, so who is in the most advanced position? It's going to be Jerd. He is wielding that sniper rifle. And a very slow push, actually, here from TCM, I've got to say.
Yeah, TCM are just sitting back a little bit, but look how progressed Merc is there, in a position which, at the very start of the game, I thought was awesome, but I was proven wrong quite shortly after. However, let's see what Merc can do. He's just chilling behind that bin. We can see him where the Codfish and Gunshy's gone up against him. Gunshy's going to see the side of his gun, supported with his teammate. Gunshy picks up the kill there. However, I think it was Shane who jumped in to support him there. That was excellent play from TCM, picking up the first blood. 3 versus 4 in favor of TCM. So
still here with Gunch now, and they're pretty much committing themselves to this A bomb push. Gunch getting a little bit scared, and are they actually going to switch it up now? Well, Gunch has spotted TP, as has his teammates. That call out will have gone down. TP in trouble, does get shut down by Gunshy. 2 versus 4 now.
Gunshy's having a great first round, picking up 2 kills straight away. He's going to see Looney. Looney gets the better of Gunshy there, but look how much damage Looney has taken. Only 15 seconds left on the clock. 2 versus 3. Proofy and Looney need to do everything. Moose takes him down, and shortly after, Envyus finalize that. Great play from Gunshy, I've got to say, at the start of the round there, picking up the first 2 kills. Nearly picked up Looney. Yeah. So close.
So it is going to be TCM taking the first round of Search and Destroy here on Detroit, and that is attacking side. I mean, as an ex-pro player yourself, Mo, did you tend to prefer the attack or the defense when it came to Detroit Search and Destroy?
It's a little bit of give and take, but I think if you can get into the school area where the bomb site is and get that bomb down, the majority of the time you will win that round. But I've got to say, I'd say with the attack. I would have to go with the attack on this map.
Okay, well, Looney there, just doing some scouting, did definitely spot one passing towards B. I'm not sure if he saw both of them. Let's see what's going on with TP now. He's the most advanced of his team, also has that bomb in hand, just holding back a little bit, as we see grenades being emptied out by the players.
Absolutely. TP does have the bomb. 2 of his teammates, Proofy and Merc, go down to the guys from TCM. TCM looking very hot on this Search and Destroy. I'm not sure what TP can do. He's in a bit of a position where he's not got much room to go by. He's stuck in his garage at the moment. Looks like his teammate Looney is flanking round, hopefully going to pick up a kill or 2, but it looks like gunfire is going down in school. Just looking at the mini-map there, you can see all of TCM in such close proximity.
Yep, and who is going to be the first to make a move? Here we go, still with TP now. It's actually Looney here that's going to be coming head-to-head. He's got to be careful, does get shut down. TP 1 versus 4. The only thing he's got going for him now, Momo, is that he does have that bomb. That's it.
I was just about to say, Shane was just literally pre-aiming that door. Looney had no chance. 1 versus 4, with likes of TCM, so well set up. I've got to say, the setup from TCM that they are doing is working well. You can see Gunshy kicking it off with 4 kills himself. Merc, Proofy, and TP, I know we're only 2 rounds in, yet to get a point on the board.
Yeah, collectively as a team right now, Envy's going 1 kill and 8 deaths, so they're really going to have to change something up now as TCM take that defensive round. We'll see what Jerd can do. I want to see if just anyone's using a sniper to start with. That's not going to be. Well, we'll stay with Jerd anyway, and look at this now, a much more fast-paced attack. He originally had a slow attack towards Ace, completely changing the strategy now and going to B.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got a little bit excited when Jerd got the sniper out there, but he does change to an SMG. He hasn't stopped moving, and this is the Jerd that we know. I mean, just how fast-paced he is, just kind of snapping around. And I've got to say, this is what I was saying. If they can get the bomb down right now and get this secure, they're in a very good position. However, look how many players from Envyus are coming around the back school area.
Well, they're going to have to move now. Jerd with the melee.
Oh, Jerd
with the double melee takes down Looney and TB. Still with Jerd now. Is he going to be able to find a third?
We've got to stay on board with Jerd. I just want him to push out and just do the same. I just want him to melee all to the rest of the Merc and Proofy. Merc going down to Gunshy. Gunshy actually put a few extra bullets in him there.
Oh, and it is going to be Jerd there, cleaning things up with a final kill. Could have finished that off with a final melee for that round. But Jerd, I mean, things just handed to him on a plate there. And the double melee kill, great play. And Mo, I hate to highlight this again for Envy's sake, but look at those kill-death ratios as a team, 1 to 12. 3 players after 3 rounds still yet to achieve a kill.
I know. I mean, they need to change their strategy. They need to do something different. I'm not sure what that will be. But you've got to kind of, let's jump on board with Looney. He's got the sniper out. Probably going to scan across to B, see what he can see and see what players do go across. But look at the minimap. Not one person from TCM going to B. It's quite an interesting strategy. Whether they're going to push through A, Doesn't look like they are doing, but TCM, again, all sticking together as a team, working as a unit.
Oh, and TCM really needs to be careful here. Envy could take a big advantage if they push into B. There's only one player that can deny them this, and it is going to be Moose. Can Moose stop them? Well, he does take down Proofy, but Looney's shut down Gunch.
TP on your screen, bomb in hand, just maneuvering around the map quite slowly, but in a way he's not going to be seen. Jerd and Shane picking up a couple of kills. Merc left in a 1 versus 3.
Wow.
And I don't even have a chance to finish before TCM finalize that.
TCM are on absolute fire now. This search and destroy game is so strong. And you know what, we've been criticised in Envy a bit, but I want to give some love to TCM. 3 players yet to actually die. Jerd 5-0, Moose 3-0, Shane 3-0, and with a plant as well. And Gunshy there 3-2. They just seem unstoppable. This is probably single-handedly the best search and destroy game I've seen from any team so far this event.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to say that. I mean, looking at the stats, it's just the way it is. I really wish Jerd would pull this sniper out and see what he can do with it. But why change anything if it's working for you? Jerd using the SMG is going to go for this fast-paced rush again, but Envyus are changing stuff up. They're going to progress quite quickly through to the garage. Jerd picking up a kill himself. Moose as well. This is not going well for Envyus. I really don't know what they're going to change. Looks like Moose is giving him a hand by killing his teammate Gunshy, but I don't think it's going to go down well. Merc left in a 1 versus 3.
He's all on his own. Merc in a world of trouble now. He's had to escape. He's sustained so much damage. This is probably going to be the easiest bomb plant in the world now for Shane. Merc is trying to fight back, though. He's got to keep fighting. He does not want his team to be going 5-0 down.
Absolutely, and you can see maybe just a bit of confidence. He needs to pick up 1 or maybe 2 kills. Not necessarily win the round, but he needs something. They 4-0 down, potentially 5-0 down after this round. Only 30 seconds left on the clock. I think Merc's in a bit of trouble here. He's decided just to chill and regain his health.
Well, he is still alive, but time is ticking away. Every second that goes by just makes it harder and harder. Merc is going to get shut down now. 5-0 to TCM, looking absolutely unstoppable. Is this going to be the first 6-0 that I see this tournament, Momo?
I mean, potentially it is, but you potentially could see also 3 donuts on Envyus, and that's just unheard of. TP, world champion, Proofy won multiple Call of Duty championships, and as well, Merc, I think it was 13 or 14 titles to his name. This is just something that I've never seen before. Let's jump on board with them. I want to give a little bit of love to Merc, see what he can do. He's performing so well in Search and Destroy yesterday, hitting double figures as well. He's going for an A push, it looks like. They are switching stuff up, which is interesting to see.
I'm just going to switch over. I know we're loving Merc, and he said in pool play he played really well. Actually, we will just go back to him because I can see an engagement going down. Does pick up the kill against Moose. TP takes down Gunshy now. Envyus fighting back. Jerd shutting down Looney. Jerd on an 8-kill streak at the moment. There's the big melee from Shane. 2 versus 2.
Yeah, I mean, those melees from TCM are really working against Envyus. 2 versus 2, shortly to 2 versus 1. Proofy needs to miraculously pull off this 1 versus 2 to stay in the game. They have not got around on the board. If Proofy can get some momentum behind him, potentially, can they come back?
Yeah, well, he's got to get the bomb first, though. That's going to be a good start, I suppose. And there's actually nobody at A. He could go for this bomb plant now. TCM would have absolutely no idea. You can see them sticking together. And this is great play from TCM because they know that they can just trade off the kill. If one of them does go down, the other one will be there to support them. Proofy is just so hesitant. He doesn't know if he should go for this plant or try and pick up the kills.
Yeah. Now, in a 1 versus 2, you have to pull off something special. But I would always say, for TCM right now, it's theirs to lose. They need to stick together, trade the kill. And it looks like time's just running out. They're both flanked around. The opposing teams, TCM and Envyus, have just switched from B to A. He's not going to go for that plant with only 5 seconds left to go. He needs to do something. He's not going to be able to pick up both kills. And I believe that is Shane. He's just spinning around, going for a bit of a cheeky kill cam there. 6-0 for the boys on TCM. Let's hear it for them, guys.
Wow.
TCM, I mean, Shane just a bit of showboating as well.
And Shane there, very confidently shutting down Proofy to close things out. Shane and Jerd collectively 14-0 in that search and destroy. Neither of them died. Jerd with 8 kills, 0 deaths. What a sensational performance from them. And TCM 4 kills after 6 rounds of search and destroy. They've really got to reevaluate what went wrong there and just change things up, because it's disappointing for those guys. They're already 2-0 down in this best of 5 series, and it's not really looking good for them going into these latter stages.
Yeah, now, I've got to say, I mean, Envyus, was so dominant in the group play. Whether it's just a different day, Merc was performing so well. Looney, by all means, in the respawns, he's just putting up ridiculous numbers. But whether it's just, Jerd or Shane kind of countering that, I'm not too sure what Envyus can do to change it. Now, what they do need to do is put those 2 maps behind them. They've got 3 ahead of them. They need to win all 3 to progress in the tournament. Otherwise, they are going home.
Yeah, well, hands down the best TCM Search and Destroy game that we saw so far. And we can see the TCM management there showing the support on the front row here at the Gfinity Call of Duty Spring Masters here. It's been a great event so far. Both of these teams fighting for their place as a top 4 contender, wanting to move into the semi-finals, guaranteed top 8, but they want to be placing in that money, $25,000 prize pool here.
Yeah. It's got to be one of those kind of series, and obviously every single team left in this tournament, they want first place. They've just seen Denial go out, and they know that anything can happen. We're going to run through the maps quickly for you. We have just seen TCM take Hardpoint Solar 218 to 194, and in great fashion, TCM 6-0 in Search and Destroy Detroit. Uplink Biolab. Rel, run me through this map. Tell me what they need to do.
All right, well, let's get a good overview of this now, as it's been dubbed BioLink. I want to keep that trend going. I love that name for this. But yes, it is going to be Biolab Uplink that these players do go head-to-head on. And as we just go for the swing around, we'll see the big focal points here slowly moving towards that purple building. You're going to see a lot of pushes through there as well. And I love this end bit to this little preview as well. Look at that bot just trying to get over that building. He really, really struggles and decides to just give up.
Nah, he's going elsewhere.
So, yes, and this is going to be a great game now. So, is there any particular team you want to start off watching here, Momo?
Let's jump on board with Envyus. You know, they're 2-0 down. I want to see how they come out. I mean, Looney straight away, you know, going for a bit of a different route. He's going to answer. In fact, he's going for the wraparound. I mean, he could come up straight against 2 players. He is going to get a few bullets into Shane. Not going to manage to pick up the kill. But, you know, just the play style from Looney there, just all-out aggression. I like to see that.
Well, for Envyus, it is go big or go home now. They have to win this, capture the flag. They've got, Uplink, they have no other choice. Proofy here does have that drone in hand. Just going to release it to free up his gun. Is going to get shut down, though, now. Gunshy and Moose collectively applying pressure.
Yeah, I mean, TCM just answering with a few kills themselves. Jerd, I mean, ASM1, this is the Jerd that I like to see. You know, a submachine gun, someone just running around, dashing around, and using that movement to their ability. Do you want to body with Moose? He actually has the satellite drone in hand. Just going to put that in the corner of the room whilst he kills a few people. Doesn't work out for him. Proofy answers back with a double kill.
Oh, and there's Looney as well. 3 down against TCM. Jerd needs to stay alive, but he does get shut down as well. This is a great push now from Envy. They could be taking an early lead.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that Envy's done here, I mean, they've gone for this wraparound. It can really, really work, and you can get an easy 2-point play. However, if you do go down, like they have here, it looks like his teammates actually put that in for a 2-point play. But as I was saying, that if they were to go down there, it could be a very easy counter for TCM. However, Envy's finished that off really well. Proofy 6-1.
Yeah, well, 6-1 for Proofy, and Looney there opening things up on the scoreboards with a 2-point carry capture. Let's get involved with the action, see what's going on this catwalk with Merc now as he comes head-to-head with Jerd. Isn't going to be able to get the better of him. Shane shutting him down.
Yeah, I mean, TCM, Moose, Shane, and Jerd all picking up a couple of kills. Proofy obviously performing the best at the moment. It was the only one alive for a short spell there. Jerd has the drone in hand. Is he going to go for the 1-point play or 2-point play? It looks like he's trying to get a bit of elevation on this, maybe for a 1-point throw.
And just remember here, well, we'll see if Jerd can actually get this one in. No, he cannot. The winner of this best of 5 series will go up against Optic Gaming or Aware. That's going to follow this on the stream. It's definitely a game you don't want to be missing. Still here with Shane, though, now. That uplink drone in open play.
Absolutely. Moose on your screen. Switching over to Merc. He's got the drone in hand. We want to see what he can do. Obviously, he's got to duck and dive, use the support of his teammates. It looks like he's doing it very well. Moose and Jerd trying to answer back. Merc going for a bit of a conventional route there. Does make the play. Sacrifices himself for the team. That is, you know, I love that about Merc. So selfless.
Yeah, he was weak. He was going down, and he thought, you know what, I'm not going to get a carry capture here. I've just got to give it a throw, and it paid off. 3-0 now to Envy, and probably the best start I've seen from them yet. They struggled in that hard point in the first side. Really did bring it back in the final 5 minutes, but that Search and Destroy was a complete whitewash.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it throughout this tournament and obviously previous ones as well. Uplink has always been in favor of, you know, non-European teams, if you like. I'd like to see, you know, TCM upset that, you know, prove a point here, because I think the only one I've seen win was Aware versus TK. Now, you know, that was quite dominant on comeback. However, TCM here trying their very best to get back into the game. Only 2 minutes left of round number 1. Looney with a good drop shot there. He's going to try and get a second kill on Shane. Going to back off, but he doesn't quite manage that. But Looney, 8-7.
Well, TCM, one of 2 European teams left in this competition. And yes, we will still call them European. It's actually just an accidental pass there from Proofy. Oh, and that's going to work really badly for him as we see Jerd now pushing away. It's actually Shane who does have that uplinking drone in hand. But yes, it's just Aware and TCM left representing Europe. The remaining teams all American.
Absolutely. Shane has the drone in hand. He really needs the support of his teammates. He doesn't get that. However, he's going to go for the 1-point play. Makes that. 1 point on the board for TCM, 1 minute 30. Can they level this up before going into halftime and switching round? I like the way Shane there, even though his teammates didn't give him the perfect amount of support, he still made something of it. He went for the 1 point play instead of the 2. Very smart play from TCM Shane.
Yeah, and we can see Merc and Envy just wrapping around this uplink drone. They're going to have to pick up some kills if they want to make the push. Shane has gone down. Uplink drone has been released to free up that gun once again. And TCM now fighting back. Moose and Gunshy taking down Proofy and Looney and really trying to make a push in this uplink drone. They don't want to be going into the second half on a negative scoreline.
Absolutely. Drone is in the hands of Moose right now. He's got the support of his team. Again, he's done this a couple of times where he's, just kind of put the drone aside to try and slay out his teammate. He does get taken out. Gunshy falls to Looney. Looney with a double kill, and Jerd answering back with a double kill himself. TP saying no, shutting him down. Looney's just going on a tear right now. Yeah, Looney could have followed that up with a big 3 kills to actually get that uplink drone in his hands. Instead, we are going to see the support of his teammates, though, to help him. And TP's just running that away and taking it away from TCM, trying to stall them. TP's actually running it through his own base, and he's got the call out from Proofy that their base is clear. He's going to come up against him. The Exo ability was not used to the maximum there. The drone is going to go in the hands, and it was Merc actually who had it. He gets taken down. Proofy tries to take over. Shane says no. It's all a bit scrappy here with only 12 seconds left on the board. Shane potentially could even this up right here. Oh, well, here's the charge. He needs his teammates to pick up these kills. Jerd takes down Looney, and there we go. It's a big 2-point play, and he knows he's going off that map, and Shane in the final seconds sacrifices himself to bring things back to a tie. So Envy opening up really strong, and I've got to say TCM just about hanging in there. Envy looking the stronger team, though, I'd say. I mean, you've got to kind of say Envy at the start, but TCM have countered it very well. I mean, I actually mentioned it previously. That wraparound which TP did, he brought it back through his own base, pushed the guys from TCM back, but with the kills that were made, they were able to kind of just counter that very, very easily. Shane took advantage with great support from his team. Let's stay on board with Shane here. 3-3. This potentially could be the last map of the series. Oh yeah, well, it's the common phrase that's thrown about the European community for Shane is the way he can bamboozle his opponents here, and it particularly comes into play when it comes to objective-based gameplay. This is kind of his field. This is his speciality, if you like, uplink, and we're going to see a little bit more of that in the final 5 minutes here. It's actually Gunshy, though, with the drone. Yeah, Moose just went on a bit of a tear, nearly picking up a 3-piece himself. Gunshy has his drone in hand. He's going to release that just for now. Picking it up. He's actually got the call out from his team. I mean, 2 kills on the board. He's going to go. Looks like he's going for a 2-point carry cap here. Does take a bit of damage. Does make the play. From 3-0 down, TCM have got 5 straight points, now in the lead for the first time on uplink. Oh yeah, they've really fought their way back into this, and Envy do not want to be letting this slip. Remember, if they lose this game, if they lose this uplink, that is going to be the end of the road for them, and they will be out of the single elimination bracket. Here we are on board with King Jerd now. Let's see what he can do. Coming up against 2, manages to stay alive, but not managing to produce much as Proofy shuts Jerd and Moose down. Yeah, Proofy there, another double kill. All I've seen throughout this whole series, Proofy just getting double kills all the time. And there we go, and it's 5-5. Envy answer right back. Looney picks up a 2-piece as well, and things are all tied. This is going to be a close game, Momo. Absolutely. I mean, it can't get any closer than this. Currently tied with only 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. TP trying to do a bit of objective work. Gunshy takes him down, and it looks like the drone hasn't been picked up yet. I like TCM's play here. They're getting a bit of map control, but Looney, he's just playing a bit sneaky here. Well, previously of Team Caliber, Looney now competing under Envyus. Tries to find a kill here now. L-Bend, is he going to pick it up? Yes, he does. Gunshy does go down. That uplink drone still in open play, and Shane just lying down next to it. Doesn't want to go for the pickup just yet. Yeah, I mean, Looney there, great use of the stun grenade. He's going to spot out that there was a TCM player. Shane just, again, maneuvering his way out. Proofy shuts him down. 5-5 still. Only 3 minutes left on the clock here. Looney, he's to me just going all out slaying. I think he's leaving the objective work maybe up to TP and Merc to do, and I think it's working exactly in his favor. Well, let's see what's going to happen. Only 2 minutes 50 left on that clock. Still all to play for here. Things still tied up. These teams almost inseparable, but a big play here for Envy. Proofy again, Momo with a 2-piece. Make that 3, albeit delayed on Moose. There was a Merc kill in between there now, and this is a really big push from Envy. I don't know if TCM are going to be able to stop it. TCM somehow managed to get the 2 kills. That, I mean, them kills itself there, that stopped a 2 carry, a carry cap there. It was a great play from TCM. They did suffer that, obviously, the 1 point from Envyus. However, they need to bounce back. They have map control of the drone right now. However, Envy looking very, very good. TP getting a killer for himself. He's going to try and pick another one up, and he's just going to He's narrowly going to get away from himself there. But it looks like Gunshy is actually going for that wraparound that we talked about.
Yeah, and I believe it was actually TP who got that 1 point, and it could be all the difference now. But Gunshy trying to make a push here. He might be able to make it. The uplink drone does get dropped. Nobody's been able to pick that up just yet.
I mean, we didn't see the uplink drone there. However, Jerd picks it up with a great slam. Jerd could end this right now. Can he get the 2-point play? He's going for the slam. Yes, he does. Jerd, wow, what a fantastic play. Not only hits his enemy in the face there, but dunks that for a 2-point play. TP and Looney answering back with a kill either side.
Yeah, big plays there from Jerd, but Envy still looking really strong here now. I want to see what Envy are going to be able to do. Still 1 minute 30 left of play in this, and Envy have been really performing so well. It would be such a shame to see them bow out now and suffer this 3-0 defeat. Let's stay with them now. I want to see TP. He's been such a key player for them so far in pool play, and going into this single elimination bracket, he's really got to turn up with this uplink drone.
Yeah, I mean, TP's the man to have the drone in hand. If anyone's going to get a 1-point play, it's got to be him. He is actually pretty much clear. He's got the throw off. Can he make the play? Yes, he does. That is fantastic play from TP there. Once again, great objective work. Wasn't greedy and went for the 2-point play. Listen to the call-outs of his teammates. I mean, this can't get any closer, Rel. 1 minute left to go, 7-7.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, I don't know if there's going to be any more captures in this, but even a single point could be all it takes to actually determine the victor of this. It's going to be Shane. Is he going to make the push? No, he's just hanging back. Wants to find a kill first, which he does. He's going to advance and wait for one of his teammates to go for that pull.
Yeah, the great thing that I've seen with Shane in Advanced Warfare here, he's really stepped up in his slaying department. Moose has the drone in hand. 35 seconds left on the clock. He doesn't know exactly what to do. Two of his teammates are going to go down. I think he's going to get this one thrown out of bounds. Was a smart play. I mean, potentially he could have suffered, obviously, defeat if he didn't do that. But Gunshy is in a place where potentially he could come up behind a couple. Does get taken down. TP is the man to do that. Only 15 seconds. If anyone's going to make a play, it is Merc right now. Currently 18 and 20. Already got 3 points for his team out of the 7. There is time to do this.
Merc's making the push now. 7 seconds left. He just needs one single point. He wanted to go for that throw. The uplink drone does go down though. Moose is going to just get rid of that now. Nothing he can do. And wow, what a game there. 7-7. We are going to overtime.
Absolutely. One thing about TCM there, they knew that if Merc was to get able to get on top of that blue room and get a throw off, he was more than likely going to get it. You know, Moose especially there pushed him out, you know, in a great fashion. 26 and 21 for Moose. Had a great game there, but overtime, 7-7, all tied up at the moment. This is literally as close as it gets.
Oh, yeah, and what's quite interesting, actually, about this tie that we've found ourselves in this overtime is they actually tied on both halves. So it was 3-3 for the first half, and if you just look at the separate half as a completely separate half, it would have been 4-4. So really, you know, it's nothing to do with the spawns here. You know, it's been the same throughout. So gonna see now what is going on. Merc and TP shut down Shane and Jerd. And remember, this is, you know, essentially it's the quickest uplink capture, but there is that added benefit if you get the 2 points.
Absolutely. Proofy picking up a couple of kills himself. Merc trying to pick one up. He gets shut down. My words are about Sloppy using his shots right there, but Proofy answering back. Proofy, another double kill.
Proofy.
I think Proofy's just answered with 4 or 5 kills off the bat here.
And Looney is gonna get a very, very quick uplink drone capture. 37 seconds, that is almost unbeatable. I don't know what TCM are gonna be able to do here, Momo.
Yeah, I've got to say that overtime was all Proofy, even though he had no, you know, didn't even touch the drone. It was all Proofy in the slaying ability. Jerd knows he needs to answer with a very, very quick uplink drone capture here. 30 seconds left. Does make the first kill. Looney's going to sit back, try and just get a couple of kills himself. The actual drone is going again. They're going for the wraparound. I mean, Shane.
He's got to go for it. He's doing what he does.
Teammates, but only 18 seconds left on the clock. He needs to act, and he needs to act fast. 2 kills coming for TCM. This is what he needs to do. Proofy answering back with a kill himself. Looks like he's just going to passes to his teammate. I'm not sure if that was intentional.
And that is gonna be it. Oh no, wait a second. Shane's managed to pick it up. 3 seconds left on that clock.
No.
And in the final second, Shane has managed to capture it. That could not have been closer. We thought that was gonna be it for TCM. Out of absolutely nowhere, Shane found that uplink drone and somehow found a path through Envyus.
Wow.
They looked like they blocked that down, Momo. It looked like it was gonna be taking it to map number 4, but the closest victory there, I could not see them.
I honestly, I don't know if there's any way to like slow-mo that down as the drone goes in. That must have literally been 0.2 seconds or something silly like that. Shane, I thought he actually made a bit of a mistake. He hit his head on the top of the roof there. Goes for the 1-point play, secures himself the victory. However, 3-0 really doesn't justify that, Rel. I've got to say, the guys on Envyus, they put up such a good fight throughout the series, and to be kind of swept away 3-0, I don't think it does it justice.
Oh, no, but I mean, you know, what a close game there. We thought that that was going to be Envy's. There was so little time left on that clock for TCM to produce anything. We saw Shane just bobbing back and trying to confuse Envy as to which way he was going to make that push. And in the end, he just had to go for it. He just had to run right through. His teammates managed to pick up 2 kills. He sneaked through. And as the uplink drone was dropped, I didn't actually think there was enough time.
No,
I didn't think there was enough time to get it in. But with 5 seconds left, Shane picked it up, made one final push, and a throw. You know, it was 1 or 2 seconds left on that clock.
Yeah, I was almost kind of wrapping it up for Envy's game, and then, you know, Shane just dashed in, picked up the drone, threw it in. I mean, what a great play from Shane. Objective work once again, you know, proving why he is potentially one of Europe's best objective players.
Yep, so let's just go for a bit of a recap of those maps and discuss what we've seen so far before going for a bit of an analytical breakdown back in the studio. On the hardpoint solo, the first side of it I want to talk about was so TCM one-sided, 128 to 74. So they had this massive lead. Envyus really fought back. They had the better second half of that hardpoint.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But at the end of the day, it was 218 to 194 in favor of TCM. They just held on to that lead. It did go down to the final hardpoint, but it was kind of always going TCM's way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, TCM were just that one step ahead, but when it went down to that final hardpoint, you know, Envy just threw everything they had at it. And at that position, it either works or, you know, it doesn't. And I mean, that sounds simple to say, but they just, it didn't work for them, and, you know, TCM just ran away with it.
Yep, and the Search and Destroy Detroit, wow, a masterclass in Search and Destroy from TCM
sure.
there. The best Search and Destroy play I've seen in a long time there. A big 6-0, completely shut down Envyus. There just seemed to be nothing that they could do. And finishing things off on what is arguably going to be the closest uplink game we'll see for a long, long time on BioLink, which was 7-7. Both sides of that actually tied. 3-3 on the first side. 7-7 was the final scoreline. It was an overtime victory for TCM in the final seconds, but it is, I mean, as we said, that Search and Destroy, they put Envyus into a whole new world of pain, but it's going to be bye to Team Envy. Let's throw it back to the analysts.
All right, thank you, Rel. A beautiful BioLink game, as you said there in game number 3. But fellas, let's talk. Yeah, bye. Got us all here.
Yeah.
No, it was the whole new world thing that got me.
Rel put in a lovely cheeky comment there about him singing before the show.
Unless you bought a ticket to the Gfinity Arena, you probably missed the Rel show. Unless you follow me, go on my Twitter feed. I retweeted Rel's full NSYNC performance from yesterday. But let's get into the games, guys, here. So far, Sunday, Championship Sunday, has been a story of upsets. The teams that struggled in the group play that came out as number 2, causing major upsets. First, it was Optic Nation with a major upset over Denial. Now TCM, a power 3-0. All 3 of us analysts were wrong in our predictions. You said it was going to Game 5. You said it was going to Game 4. I said it was Envy. But, man, TCM was looking good.
I want to defend my prediction.
You can't. You said 5.
If anyone's going to defend the prediction, it'd have to be me. I mean,
my prediction was what it was because I said it'd be a close game, which it was apart from the Search and Destroy. That's why. Could have easily gone another way.
Such a close game, that game, too.
Not game 2. I said apart from the Search and Destroy. So you got to listen, Puckett. You got to listen.
So 66% of the games were close.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it. All right, guys, let's break it down, though. TCM, strengths of their gameplay today, Tony.
Oh, yeah, everything. I mean, Jade was going off at points that he needed to. We talked a little bit about Shane going in the hard points as well. Gunshy holding down, especially in the hard point, actually. I just want to touch on that second last hill that he went in. He held that down big time. Like, he went in there, made a couple of kills, held it down on his own. He then did have backup. They pushed around, made a few more kills on the entry to the next one, and that was a really big play. I mean, obviously, they were in the lead. It was a 10-point game at 3 minutes, so it was pretty much TCM all the way until that point, and we did really, really well going into the end, but Gunshy really broke through, and that was probably the bit that really put TCM in the stride to win that first map.
Now, we're going to have an interview here shortly, but talk to me a little bit about Envy. You said you didn't watch them much yesterday or Friday, but what did you see from them today? Where did they play well, and where did they struggle?
So, you know, I was looking for a weakness, and the thing was, every kind of Envy player played good at points. I don't know whether there was a bit of a disconnection or they couldn't convert some of the kills or the pinches. They struggled a little bit against TCM. You'd think a good pinch was coming in, and all of a sudden TCM would pick up a 2 or a 3 piece like that. That shouldn't have happened. You were in a really good position, and you just didn't take them down. So it's not. I wouldn't say it was a massive problem there. Maybe Merc being a pickup, their communication was a little bit off, or there was a strategy they were relying on Saints to do. So that may be it here, but I think it's actually TCM were just a better team. I couldn't see a real big weakness with Envyus anywhere. I mean, Proofy went super hot in places, especially like the uplink.
Right.
I thought they were going to win that. Proof was holding points down. He got the cut across green plat. I thought, they've got this, surely. But TCM just kept bringing it out.
Yeah, it seemed in game number 1 that half of Envy was playing really well. Proofy and Looney were there. TP and Merc kind of missing in the kill feed.
Yeah, it seemed as if Looney was doing the work on the hard point more than anyone. I mean, he was the only one that really was in contention to really be holding up to TCM. But other than that, I mean, they never really looked to get firing. I mean, as I said, Proofy did pretty well as well. But, I mean, realistically, yes, TCM were leading all the way through. Envy did get back. But all the way through the lead, I felt as if TCM looked comfortable.
Well, it sounds like our interview is ready. Let's find out just how comfortable TCM were as we send it down to the floor with Mike.
Thanks, Puckett. We're here with Shane from TCM Gaming. Wow, that was pretty close to the end, wasn't it? 3-0 Envy. How does it feel to do that?
That's a quality result for us. Like, we've got an extra gear to go into this event with Gunshy announced his retirement, so we just want this so bad for him as well. And I think that really helped us in that game. The hard point was pretty close, but the S&D was a complete blowout. I think 2 of them dropped donuts, and me and Jared didn't die. So for us to win that so comfortably, we just rode that momentum into the next game. And for the uplink, it was really close, and they destroyed us in the first 30 seconds of overtime. I think it was Moose or Jared made a really ballsy play to wrap the ball when we had no control of it. Unfortunately, we just clutched up and got the ball in the last 2 seconds.
There's a huge difference between this team playing at this event and the team that played at COD Champs. How much difference is it after playing with these guys in the house?
In the house, like, we're playing to live in America, so we go harder than anyone else in the world. And it's really shown this tournament. Like, we had a close series against Denial, the world champs, which we should have won. But the team house is really helping because like when we make mistakes, we fix them, sort them out quickly, and we're tired from learning from mistakes. So we're just gonna put them into practice today.
What's it been like at a UK event, but being jet lagged?
Oh, I've always said like the Americans are just lying, using it as an excuse. But like we're going to bed at like 10 o'clock, tired as you like, waking up at 3 in the morning, wide awake. But a can of Red Bull sorts us out, so we're all right.
You've got either Optic Gaming or you've got, I had a memory blank. Aware, sorry. It's likely to be Optic based on paper. What are you expecting?
They're the best team in the world, so we're still gonna go in as confident, but it's gonna be really hard to beat them. I think our best chance of beating them will be winning the S&Ds and then grinding out one of the middle respawns. But with Formal, Crim, Scum, and then you've got Enable to pick up, they're gonna be really hard to beat. But we're gonna give it all we can.
Perfect. Okay, this has been Shane from TCM Gaming. We're going to go back to the studio. Puckett is going to talk a little bit more about the game.
All right, thank you, Mike. Before we dive into the game, guys, I want to just give a shout out not only to the players on TCM uprooting themselves, leaving their families, their friends to go live and practice in the United States, but big shout out to Jim and Craig and the rest of the org there at TCM. The guys getting behind their players, giving them the opportunity to take their game to the next level. TCM is guaranteed top 4 now. Another top 4 finish here and another Gfinity event for them, and they are absolutely looking stellar. Brycey, break down game number 1 for me. You were actually commentating live here in the studio. What were some of the highlights for you?
Actually, there's one quick thing I want to pick up on the interview before we go too further.
Okay.
That I completely didn't even enter my head, and it's the most important thing I think Shane's ever said. They are playing to live in America. There's that hunger, that it's more on the line every single day for them than any other team. So I'm sitting there going, wow, that's an amazing point. And you're right. For Jim and Craig to make that big investment is huge for them. So it's a lot of passion there in TCM. Talking about that first kind of hard point, I mean, Jared kept making entry kills onto every hill. You saw it in his captures. His captures were way above his teammates, even going into the second half. And we kept saying, Jared just come flying in, and the way he plays, he just comes flying at you and still makes the kill when you don't expect him to make that. We talked about there was a potential swing. And we said it in the studio as well. It was second hill, second side.
Gunshy, the only one alive after the initial fight, doing such a good job here staying alive. Look at the scoreboard, guys. Envy is up by 6 at that point until Gunshy comes through. The bait and switch, this was perfection, but you also got to credit, you were saying, Jerd, you were watching him the whole way on the flank going into this last hard point.
So, yeah, we just hit on this point here, and this is a kind of a key point. TCM were doing really well to stay alive, and actually, me and you, Puckett, argued in the middle of this game that Shane on back hill, he stayed alive, although it was a little bit messy from him. You're right. He didn't clean up the shots as quickly as possible, and his teammates really helped him out. But TCM were doing on quite a few of the hills, staying alive and not letting Envy flood through. And it just caused issues for Envyus, especially when you got people dropping numbers, coming back into it and killing out. Envy struggled, and it happened on this last hill again. They kept coming in. They stayed alive for as long as possible and contested. And even when you saw, I think you'll see in a second, 2 Envy players are in against 1 TCM player, and that TCM player stays alive for so long.
26 seconds left at this point, basically out of it. Jur just doing a great job staying alive. He drops his 40 bomb there, joining Gunshy at the top of the scoreboard for TCM. Want to give credit to Proofy, though. From start to finish, Proofy led the way for Envy. It's got to be so frustrating as an assault rifle player who is clearing the lanes to see your teammates taken out of the hill. I think that was really Envy's weakness. A little bit of objective confusion there between TP and Merc. Neither of them really putting up numbers to help them contest.
I mean, I think it was the SMGs of TCM that really did the work as well. I mean, when you're going up against Jerd, yes, it is very nice for Proofy. I mean, obviously picking up a 3-piece there. It's nice for that guy to come in there and get the AR kills, from the long range. But if your SMGs of TCM are getting in there and causing so many problems inside the hill, all that work he does is, well, sometimes it's for nothing because he can clear out around the hard point. But as soon as it gets in there, if your guys aren't holding it down, then, I mean, it negates away from what he does. I mean, fantastic kill streak there, though. He does so well. That's when Envyus were really starting to come back into the game. And around 3 minutes, it was only 10 points in it. So, it was close at that point. But from there, go on.
I was just going to point out, you're talking about your Merc and Team having trouble in the hill, and that was actually down to Jerd. I mean, because Moose is the other player you'd expect to see in there, and he's not doing well. So it was Jerd kind of just playing on the hill better than, Merc was.
I have to say, out of all the players I've watched this weekend, Jerd is right there with the likes of Scump, with the likes of Aqua, Looney even, those guys who can just jump in and get the shot right away. Doesn't matter where they're boosting to or how their movement is. They just have such lock-on shots. Big props to the way he played in that first game. But let's take it to the search and destroy now, guys.
Oh, wow.
Probably the most dominant game we've seen from any series. A hot 6-0 going into the 6th round. 3 players on Envy with donuts. That was Merc, Proofy, and TP, who couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, they ended up with 4 kills in 6 rounds between them. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this was nice. It was just the same thing over and over again. TCM were getting the first kills. They were getting all the kills, essentially. I mean, it just looked so convincing. There's not really any other way to put it apart from Jerd getting the double melee kill.
He didn't even shoot. He was just punching people.
When that's happening to your team, how much of a confidence, a morale booster is happening? I mean, these guys are just going to be flying.
How important that was. So the double melee is fantastic, right? It's a big showcasey kill. But the actual thing that happened there was Envy was stacked. Backlog was ready to go in and trade that away. And that's a good position for them to be in. For Jerd to just do what he did, kind of just showed up the entire game. That shouldn't have happened. Envy were in a position to just burst in and trade. But no, Jerd come around the side and just killed 2 of them with punches. That's crazy.
Mud Dog was talking about it last time we saw Search and Destroy on Detroit. You saying you got to control that area between garage and fire.
Yeah, pit.
Didn't look like Envy even thought about that on defense. TCM made B look easy basically throughout that whole game.
Moose had more kills on his own team than 3 of Envy players at round 5. He team killed a player and that had more than 3 of their players. It was so one-sided. How do you even continue talking about it?
And Jerd went 8-0, and I think we said that Shane went 6-0. Honestly, I think this may be one of Shane's best individual series that we've seen out of him. Great plays in some of the hard points. You mentioned his control of the back garage, just staying alive for a while. The 6-0 in Search and Destroy. And then talk me through this game number 3, Tunney. It started off with Envy up 3-0.
I mean, it was looking pretty good from Envy. They were never really troubled far too much. I mean, TCM did bring it back, but I mean, TP, you can see from here, it was all very comfortable, not really getting anything in that position, but every single time Envy were making the points that they needed to, they were holding down the right areas. But TCM just came screaming back.
That was such a crucial kill.
Now, I got to say, before all this went down, you saw some excellent plays. This is going to be Shane jumping in right at the end of the half to tie things up. But right before that, we saw Merc actually full red, jumped out the window and on his way down, able to convert their 3rd point. That was kind of the highlight of the first half for me on Envy's side. It was Proofy slaying the way, allowing the first score by Looney. And then, of course, we saw Merc there convert the 3rd point. But in the second side, tied up 3-3. This one went to overtime. Brycey, talk me through some of these highlights.
So I mean, this is the point we were talking about. Actually, this is the
Yeah.
window shot. I said, if you're going to go
It's
window,
nasty.
and technically he could have gone up top there, but no, he played it safe. He goes, technically no one's going to shoot him in that area, right?
Right.
Just throw it and got it in. That's something he's clearly practiced. And it is. It's one of those ones, if you do get caught red because you've gone for the short wrap, it's dangerous because if you lose that gunfight in that area, they're coming straight back. And it actually happened to Envyus later on. So for Merc to go selfless, I'm going to die, but that's going in for one. It was a big play.
And then talk me through overtime. We see Looney hits the
I mean,
shot. Not a whole lot of time left on the clock. How did Shane and the boys force that last cap through?
I mean, when you see that go in at 37 seconds, you're on TCM, you sort of resign yourself. You're like, right, okay. Realistically, I mean, this is going to be very, very hard. If we manage to do this, then great. If not, let's go next map. And we literally sat down after it went to overtime.
We took our headsets off.
We were all like, all right, okay.
Yeah, it's going
And then what Shane does fantastically well here, he gets a hold of the satellite and he just waits. I mean, this is going to be the one from Looney, I do believe, or...
Yeah, first side of overtime.
So, yeah, there it goes in from Looney. That's 37 seconds gone. That's absolutely nothing. But when we go on to the Shane play, what we'll see, he lingers around. He gets a hold of the satellite. He's in a good position. He's not in any trouble. His teammates have made a couple of good kills, and then that allows them to start to make their moves, start to make their play. They go in, and the pass was good, actually, to Jay. I'll wait until the replay comes up before we fully go into it. But
You thought this was on purpose?
I don't think it was. That's what I was about to say. I don't think this play made any sense, realistically.
I think it was
they
just
had to take
get
a
it towards
risk.
the point.
Like, it was a huge risk, and it technically shouldn't have come off.
I mean, here we go. I mean,
they had no control over for wrap.
Here it is overtime, guys. 27 seconds
Watch the
left on the
mini-map,
clock. Give us the mini-map breakdown, Tony.
So if you look at the minimap, I mean, Shane's holding this down here. All his players are around him. They're not really going to do anything from this position. They need to clear some things out. Gunfight one down the left-hand side. Gunshy wins one in the middle. Now they can make that push. Proofy didn't answer back. And Shane looks, I think he's looking for the pass for Jerd to go forward. Jerd comes back to try and then cover him. So obviously I would rather have Shane have the ball than Jerd. But Shane picks up the kill that he needs to. His teammates are nowhere near him, but just makes that 1 point. And, you know, for Envy, that's going to really hurt. You know, the manner of the defeat, all right, yes, you are going out of the tournament, but in that sort of fashion, that's painful.
I think that still needs more. The fact they made, if you watch the kill in bio, they have two bodies in bio. He could have gone through, and everybody knows the jump from mid bio, slide, jump, boost, throw. That's in, right? The fact that he went, we're still going to go wrap, threw it to his teammate by accident or on purpose. I'm not entirely sure which yet. We'll have to speak to him after the game.
I think it looked like as if Jerd was going towards the uplink, and he may have just went for that
somehow
pass.
they make the kills. Shane picks up a kill. They all had to work together so much to get that in. It was a huge risk that most teams wouldn't have taken. Played out. Sometimes you got to go that way.
To sum it all up, guys, TCM made the plays. They dominated the search and destroy, and they edged out a very close hard point. They will be moving on to our final four, but we have one more match in the quarterfinals. It's going to be Optic Gaming versus another tough squad from the UK. We'll see if Aware can pull off another great upset after this.
Wait, you're not on it? I'm on it. 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 Where are you at?